is Clint with Got to Get It Done, and welcome to another video. I was wanting to do a video on the differences or sameness of apps between Android and iOS. I've gotten questions several times from my friends if the apps are completely different on Android than they are on iOS, because as you can tell, the two phones definitely will look different on the home screen, but when it comes down to the app ecosystem, they're pretty much the same. I thought I would start out with this using a very popular productivity app, one that I also use when I got to get it done. I use Todoist. So I thought I'd go through the differences or the sameness, depending on what it is, between Android versus iOS on this. We'll go through navigation, shortcuts, any special features, and how it works on the watches also, if it works on the watches. So let's get started on this. First thing we're going to do is look at the long press options for both phones. So here on the iPhone, we'll long press there, and we have three options: add task, today, and upcoming. These two right here will take you to the today view of Todoist and an upcoming view. Over here on this side, same concept, a little bit different. As you can tell, you have the today view, search, and then add tasks. So right there, right at the beginning, slightly different. Even though it's the same thing, it seems like it should be the same, but it's not. It's slightly different. Okay, so then we'll just open the apps. I have nothing open right now on either one of these. And so I'll show you the difference of how they open and what they open up to. All right, so first thing you notice is, let me turn the brightness up on this guy a little bit. First thing you notice is it opens up to the today view, today view, today view. These are the exact same accounts that are logged in. And as you can tell, let's go from the right to left here. We got the three dots, a search bar, a today, and then a back arrow, and then the hamburger, classic hamburger on Android here. And then here at the top, you can tell it's exactly the same. Overdue, if you notice the name of the task, then it has the date, the due date, any notifications, and then any kind of note. As you can tell, they both basically have the same stuff in them. And then here, going down even further, it's basically the same. So let's look at the, down here at the bottom, forgot, is the plus button, which will start a new task for you. So if we go to the hamburger menu, it does get a little different here. So iOS pops out on the bottom, and Android pops out on the top, but they both have select tasks, sort, activity log, and then Android has the additional notifications on there, which is interesting. So if you wanted to start a new task, both of these, you just hit the plus button. And as you can tell, it's almost exactly the same. It's just slightly different fonts, but you can set the task, the due date, the project, any tags, if you need to flag it, any kind of alarm time on it, and any notification or messages you want to attach to that task. So that's exactly the same as it goes. So if we hit the caret button on the iPhone, and then this, you'll see here, visually it's a little bit different. You have the login name here, how many tasks you've done for the day, and what's your goal. And then you have your folders here, inbox, today, and upcoming. That's pretty much all the same. And then I started mine out with the caret open, so it's the same thing here. The difference is you have a manage projects button here, compared to here, there's no manage project button. And then everything else is the same. So labels, and again, you have the manage labels directly right where you want to manage them. And then here on Android, you have the settings, while the settings is up here on iOS. So let's click that, guys, see what we get here. So settings. Basically, you almost get the exact same settings. You got account, general, theme, app icon. You can change the app icon on either one of these, productivity, and then it gets a little changed, a little different here. So this is where the notifications are at. And if you noticed, it was in the hamburger menu last time. And it's missing the reminders here in Android, but notifications, you get support, which is help and feedback here, about what's new, and then the log out button. So very, very, very similar. Very similar. Okay, let's pop out of there. So let's click on a tasks so we can see what's the difference here, and there's none almost. Basically, even the font looks very similar on these one, but you got the name of the task, due date, and then your buttons here for flag, tag, and notifications and comments on there. And then you also have the subtasks underneath here. You can add a subtask in both places here, and then you have the 3-dot menu, which gives you the edit task, duplicate task. This one has a move task, so you can move it to a different project if you wanted to. Copy link to the task, hide completed subtasks, activity log, and delete tasks. And then a cancel button here, because that's the way iOS works. But as you can tell so far, it's very, very similar. I go between both of these phones often, and I use Todoist all the time, and it's pretty much exactly the same. I don't feel any kind of oddness, which is very common in between the two apps themselves. You won't get much differences between Android and iOS apps. Okay, let's talk about widgets. Now that we've gotten iOS 14, we have widgets on the iPhone, and of course we've had widgets on Android since the beginning of time. Currently, just so you know, I'm running the iOS 15 beta, even though it's pretty much exactly the same as iOS 14 when it comes to widgets, so there shouldn't be much difference. So, of course, to get a widget, we long press here, hit the plus button, and then let's just go straight down to Todoist. And we have a single widget, we have the double widget, and then we have the big widget, and then we have an add task button, and then view your productivity stats. So let's add the big one here. And so it's a nice looking widget for sure. You got your today, and if you wanted to go to edit the widget, you can change the view to upcoming, project, label, or a specific filter that you wanted to, so you can have that widget show that. And a little buggy here, a little buggy. Yep, and that's super buggy. So let's remove that, and let's try it again. Sorry, guys. Todoist. We'll put the big one back on there. Oops, add that widget. Okay, so it gives you the today view. It gives you the task you have for that day, and then it gives you a plus button to add a task. My guy went to sleep over here. And so if the thing with iOS widgets, of course, is if you click it, it just goes straight to the app. If you click an actual task, it'll open the task, but then you have to do something with it. But it still opens the app. And then again, if you hit the plus button, it'll just bring up the add task button. So that one's pretty good. Over here on Android, let's look at some widgets here. This is Nova 7, so if this is looking a little different than what your widgets looks like, but it's pretty much the exact same thing. So if we go down to Todoist, so we have add task, Todoist productivity, the Todoist and the 4x3 Todoist task, which is basically the same one over here. So they have 3, which is very similar to what iOS has, but we'll get this guy on here. And of course, we can change the theme. We changed the view when we set it. We can change the theme. We can change the opacity to where your background comes through, which depending on what you want to do there, you can do a compact mode, and you can show the Todoist icon to open the app, and then you can do a preset style if you already have a preset style. So let's just go ahead and add that guy on there. All right. Oops, I made it just a little bit. Okay, let's get back and let's go ahead and just make sure we leave that there so we can see it. There we go. Yeah, of course, here you can resize. You can make the widget all the way, the whole screen. You can make it bigger. You can do whatever you want on the size of that. And then the biggest difference here is you can actually click the caret here and change this. Let's go back into inbox, let's say, and now it'll show your inbox. So you didn't have to open the app. You can completely use the software with the widget. So let's go back to today, and if we get the plus button, as you can tell, it gives you a add task directly on your home screen, so you don't actually have to go back to the app to add your task. And when you add your task, you just dismiss it and you're still right back where you were at. You can edit a task without opening the app. It'll let you edit, and you can complete the task right there without having to open the app. So big difference between iOS widgets and Android widgets for sure is the ability to interact with the widget, get stuff done. You know, we all like to get it done here on Got to Get It Done, so this is definitely a faster way of working with your widgets than iOS, which just gives you a view of what's coming up. Okay, so let's take a look at the wearables and see how this particular app works in the Android ecosystem on wearable, and how it also works on the iOS version. Okay, let's look at the Apple Watch first. There is a dedicated app for Todoist on the Apple Watch. It's way down here on mine, and if you pop that open, it gives you your list of tasks, I guess. And then if you wanted to change anything on here, you actually long press, and you can add a task directly. And if you do that, it does it straight to Siri, so the only way you can do it is through Siri. And then also if you long press, you can choose the view. So right now we have the inbox, today, next 7 days, projects, labels, filters, definitely kind of stuff you're used to seeing in the actual app itself. And then if you want to finish one off, you can just check it right off there, so that's pretty good. I wish the widget would do that, but you can definitely do that on the phone. So let's go, and that's pretty much the totality of the Apple Watch, which is still pretty handy though, because if you wanted to check your tasks real quick. There is, of course, a complication that goes down here that'll take you directly to it if you want to do that on your watch face. All right, let's take a look at some Android. All right, here we got the Galaxy Watch 3. And this is just a teaser, sorry. This does not have any kind of Todoist app, so all my Galaxy Watches people, I'm sorry to say that's not gonna happen. But hey, let's get a thumbs up for Galaxy Watch 4 that's coming out. So, sorry, moving on. Okay, here we got, this particular one is a TicWatch Pro 3 running Wear OS. There's definitely an app for Wear OS. For Todoist, so let's just get over there. We just hit our button. We go to Todoist. If you wasn't in the recent, you can just quickly get down here to where it's hidden, and then you click it. And again, it looks very, very similar. The biggest difference here is you got a plus button right there. There's no, and you can log out and or add a task from there, or just hit the add task button. You can come down here and you can change to upcoming or inbox, however you want up there. So let's go upcoming, and then you can scroll, and once you scroll, you notice it goes full screen, which is really nice. This is actually my other account, because you can log on to a separate account directly on Wear OS, because Wear OS does apps directly on the watch. Works really well. And then, of course, you can finish something off if you want to. You can hit thing, and here, big difference here is you can type it or speak it. So you can use the Google Assistant to speak it, or you can type it directly using the Gboard here, which actually either one works really well. So yeah, it's pretty good. And then bam, and it goes. It just adds it right there. Now we got a new task for today. Okay, that's all the watch apps. I just wanted to show you now the special features specifically. Unfortunately, there's really not a special feature on the iPhone. There's nothing different it could do, but something you can do on an Android phone, which I do all the time, and that is split screen. So I have this split screen app pair that I look at every day, which gives me my tasks on the top and then my calendar on the bottom. And so, as you can tell, it fits in there really well. You can completely change it up, see everything you need to see, go to your inbox, kind of look at what you're doing, see how much time you got, and then you got the plus button. Everything works exactly the same on Android and split screen mode. So that is one special feature that Todoist can do, or most apps can do on Android, and they can't do that quite yet on iPhone, which I think is a shame, because multitasking like this, especially when you have these app pairs, it works really, really well with the split screen. So that would be all the things I wanted to show today. As you can tell, they're very, very similar. If you were using an iPhone and you wanted to switch over to an Android, and you're at all concerned about your apps not changing over correctly, or you're not going to learn how to use them, your really important apps like your task list, your task app is really important too. So no worries there. You won't have to worry about that at all. They're both very similar on both operating systems. So anyways, if you wanted me to show another app differences or sameness, let me know if you have a specific app. This might become a series where I will just do one app every once in a while, so we can see that there's just not that much difference. But otherwise, everybody have a great day, and see you on the next one.